All right. Good evening, PVET for parents, and welcome back to PVET Live, your guide to animal health. I am John Santos, so happy to be back. I will be your host for this evening. Rabies cases in the Philippines have increased over time, and to reduce the risk of rabies infection, we must educate ourselves on proper dog bite prevention. Now, last week, tayo po ay nag-celebrate ng Dog Bite Prevention Week, and tonight we will learn tips and safety measures on dog bites from our guest speaker. As pet owners, we must educate ourselves about the importance of preventing dog bites and of course promoting responsible pet ownership. Kaya naman, our official hashtags this evening ay hashtag PVETLive and hashtag PVETDogBite. So, umpisahan nyo na po mag-invite na inyong mga friends or family members, especially kung meron po kayong mga alagang dogs sa inyong mga tahanan. And if you have any questions, comments, or i-comment nyo na lang dito sa ating group chat or dito sa ating comment section using again our two official hashtags. Alright, so kung kayo pong lahat ay excited na, patingin nga ng inyong mga heart emoji sa ating group chat or sa ating comment section. Ayan, i-type nyo na dyan ang inyong mga heart. Or maybe i-type nyo na rin din yung mga pangalan ng inyong mga pet dogs. Ayan, mamaya babasahin natin yung mga greetings ninyo. Binabati of course yung mga pet ninyo ng mga dogs. Alright, so bago tayo magsimula, allow me to acknowledge the team that made this event possible. Siyempre, andyan ang PVET Animal Care, the Philippine animal industry's most trusted information portal on products, services, and learning resources to help all guardians give care to all farm and pet animals. And of course, this event is also made possible by Rabison, a product of Boehringer Ingelheim. Just a few reminders before we start. Prior to the evening, tayo po ay nagpatakbo or we ran a Keep Calm or Panic contest. Ngayong gabi malalaman ninyo kung kayo po ba ay kasali sa 5 lucky winners that were chosen through an e-draw. So abangan po natin yan. Now, these lucky winners will receive a gift pack from PVET. So again, abangan po nating lahat yan. Sa mga nanonood ngayon na hindi naman nakasali sa aming pre-event contest, naku, huwag ko kayong mag-alala dahil may chance pa din po kayong manalo by posting your questions in our comment section, including our official hashtags PVETLive and hashtag PVETDogBite. Those chosen will obviously, kagaya ginagawa natin for the past activities or mga shows natin, ay tatanghalin nating winners. Alam kong excited na kayong lahat na makilala ang ating guest speaker for today. So hindi na natin patatagalin. Introduce na natin siya. He is a veterinarian and a medical director at Consult a Vet Animal Hospital. He actively shares his care tips for pet owners through Manila Bulletin and Radyo Aguila. He is also a host of the online shows Doctors Online Show under 702 DZAS FEBC Radio and Consult a Vet under Edge TV Philippines. Naku, alam kong excited na kayo dahil malamang nakita nyo na rin siya at narinig nyo na siya sa radyo, no, sa radio show niya. So hindi na natin patatagalin. Ito na, please welcome Dr. Jomar Castro. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Doc Jomar. Ayan, i-unmute lang natin, Doc. Naka-mute ka pa lang po. It's okay. Ayan. Unmute. Ayan, there you go. Hi, Doc.
Good evening. Good evening to everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Good evening, John, and to all parents out there.
Bago natin umpisahan, Doc, I don't know kung natanong ko na sa'yo to last time na nagkasama tayo sa live event natin. Ano? Meron bang dog na pets si Doc Jomar?
Yes.
Ilan nga ba ulit ang pets ni pets ni Doc
I
Jomar?
remember it right, nadagdagan pa yata. Ngayon, it's around, when we were first together, I think I had 13 dogs.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
nadagdagan pa, it's 14. So it's, you can imagine how crazy my life is. Yeah.
Pero Doc, ito ang tanong ngayon. Lahat po ba ng mga dog na pets natin ay naturo ka na anti-rabies?
Yes, of course, it's a must. It's a must for us because it's my priority as a vet. And kahit kami sa staff, it's our practice na lahat ng dogs namin is vaccinated with rabies. Yeah.
So, the reason why I asked you that, Doc, it's because obviously, yun yung pag-uusapan natin ngayong gabi, yung mga do's and don'ts, and siguro talk something about mga dog bites. So, take it away, Doc.
Yes, thank you very much, John, for that. And now I know you guys are waiting for this topic to be presented and to be explained to you thoroughly so that everybody can understand it. If I remember it right, this is the first time. Thank you to PVET and PVET Live for bringing this topic up. So I hope I can explain it to you very, very clearly. And this topic, dog bite prevention, the do's and don'ts. And we all need this. This is the first time that this has been discussed. And I hope this can really help us, especially Filipinos, who's been around that rabies scare for so long. So our government and our country has been trying, syempre, to stop the menace of the rabies virus. But I know it's really hard. So this is a good step for us, for all of us, to really step up our drive to get rid of this problem. So before I start, let me ask you these questions. Why do dogs bite, right? Why do dogs bite? So, syempre, that's where the virus comes from a bite. But there is really a reason why they do it, di ba? Because so we should understand them. It's not that these animals are bad creatures. It's just that there's this defense mechanism of animals why they bite. Okay? So number one, let me discuss this for you. Okay? Number one, they bite because it's a normal and a natural attitude and behavior of an animal to be afraid. Because ever since prehistorically, when dogs were not even domesticated before, they were living in the wild. And for them to survive, they have this tendency to always be ready and always defend themselves. So, as a reaction, if one dog bites you, it's because they're afraid and they always want to defend themselves because they think, like in historic times, they want to really defend themselves. They want to survive, okay? And they want to fight off anyone who would they think would hurt them. So that's number one, okay? That's their natural attitude towards a stranger, okay? Number two, okay? They are scared and startled. What do I mean by that? Never ever surprise an animal when they're sleeping or even when they don't see you when you're behind their back. Don't jump on them because again, if you do that, their tendency and natural behavior is to bite. To, again, defend themselves physically. Okay? So that's number two. Never, ever surprise them. Okay? Number three. Okay? They want to protect their puppies. Okay? You've heard these stories before that your parents would always tell you and remind you never to approach a mommy dog or because mommy dogs will always defend their puppies because they think an intruder, a stranger, or someone new in the house would always get and take away their puppies. So that's their natural habitat, tendency, and behavior to really protect their puppies. That's the reason why it's not that they want to bite you without any reason. The reason is they want to protect their kids, okay? Like any other animal. So that's something that you should remember, okay? They have good enough reason to really protect their puppies, okay? Next, number four. I had a patient once before that we were treating, and I approached him, and suddenly he bit my hand. It's because he is in pain. He might be sick. You don't know that. Okay? Don't approach a strange dog, okay, without knowing or really having yourself adjust to the household before approaching a strange dog, because you don't know, they might be sick, they might be injured, and they are always in pain. If that's the case, whenever you even approach them and touch them, they think you will hurt them, and you will add to the pain that they are experiencing, and their tendency is always the same, to always defend themselves because they don't want to be hurt, they don't want to be uh, give inflicted pain. Okay, so always be aware whenever you approach a dog. Okay, just uh, be sure that you know these steps before approaching any strange dog. Okay, now the fifth one is something that happens with puppies. Okay, because dogs do this not to inflict pain, but they think they're just playing around. But in the process, they think that when they bite, they play bite, okay, they injure or they create a wound on the skin of your skin, your hands. They create a wound. So they don't really notice because they think it's all okay. So just be careful, especially when around kids, you should watch over your dogs, especially puppies, because they always play bite. Most of the time, what we do is we give puppies toys so that they can chew toys. That's why there are chew toys, so that they can bite around the toys rather than play around with people that they can injure while play biting. Okay? Now, I've discussed to you the don'ts. Okay? Now, Now I will discuss to you what the things to do around strange dogs, so that this will also help you uh, socialize with animals, because they're really cute to be around with. I just want you to be always safe and be cautious whenever they're around. Okay. Number one, okay, move slowly and talk calmly around animals. This is always something that you should consider, because dogs react. Each dog has its own behavior. Each dog has its own attitude. He has his own habits and mannerisms. So you cannot just go inside a strange place, then speak a loud voice, because each sound has a different effect on them. So most of the time when they hear a high pitched voice, they think a high pitched sound creates uh, an attitude on them. Okay, they will be startled, they may be surprised, and they may react differently, like defending themselves. So it might be also a challenge for them whenever they hear a strange sound. Okay, they will attack if someone moves so fast, runs around in the house, and talks loudly. They will protect their territory all the time. That's the habits of dogs that we cannot remove. Okay, next slide. Whenever you approach a litter or a mommy that has been given birth very recently, you should be always be careful. Okay, leave mother animals alone, especially when they are with babies. You can do that if the owners are around the puppies and the mommy dog. But the natural reaction of mother dogs is to always defend their puppies. So whenever a stranger like you touches the puppies, you will be automatically be challenged and you will be bitten because they don't want that. Because they think you will take away their puppies. Okay? Remember this. A lot of people, this is I think the highest percentage of dog bites in all in the country, because a lot of people approach puppies because they think they're cute. They never imagine that the mommy dog is around to protect it. Okay. Third one, avoiding their making direct eye contact with an animal. I remember watching a Cesar Milan episode, and he always mentions never to create direct eye contact with the dog, because in a strange place where you enter the territory of a dog, direct eye contact means a challenge. So I'm pretty sure when you're in a territory of a dog, a large dog, when you look at him at straight into the eyes, they will accept it as a challenge, and automatically they will attack. Okay. Number four, always ask permission whenever petting someone else's pet. Whenever you go and walk into a park, whenever you go into a neighbor's home, whenever you go into a mall. Actually, when you go into a mall and when you see the canine detective dogs in the malls, okay, the guards will remind you not to touch their canine dogs because they're at work, and they are not, when they are focused with work, they don't want to be bothered. And when you pet them, who knows what will happen, but I know for a fact that when you bother them, whenever a strange person approaches them, they will react differently. Okay, so ask always your kids to be careful not to poke, not to touch, and not to pet any strange dog that they don't know, because they will be bitten. Okay, okay. Now, the don'ts. Okay, number one, do not approach, pet, and play with animals when they are eating, sleeping, and chewing on a bone. Okay, the natural habitat of animals, whenever you touch their food, it means you are taking away the food that they have. So it's a natural reaction of dog to really bite. Okay, when sleeping, I mentioned this earlier, do not surprise them, do not jump on them, do not startle them, because they when they wake up, they will think they're being attacked by someone else or some other animal. So they will defend themselves, and even if they know you, they will automatically bite immediately, especially when chewing on a bone, because chewing on a bone, it's their property, and if you take away that property from them, they will defend it. Okay. Number two, do not approach a dog that is barking, growling, or showing any signs of fear and aggression. Okay, most dogs, when they bark, they are trying to tell you that they are on guard. Okay, and you know how aggressive dogs are. And if you try and attempt to challenge that aggression, they will attack. Okay, because some people really think otherwise. So be careful with this. Okay. Third, do not stick your finger in animal cages. Most people are bitten unconsciously because they poke around cute animals inside the cage, but they don't know. how aggressive these animals are, especially in zoos. Okay, and if you get bitten and you don't know if the dog may be vaccinated or not, and now the problems come. Okay, that's the reason why vaccination of our dogs and our pets are very, very important. We want to thank Boringer Ingelheim and Rabisin for this segment and for giving us a chance to really also understand that vaccines are needed by animals so that if an accident happens, no problems on the rabies virus will happen in humans, which is always a problem here in the Philippines. Okay? So don't stick your fingers in animal cages. Number four, never tease animals. Kids do this. You have to stop your kids because uh, they think this is cute. It's not. Okay, but if you tease them, worse things can happen. And in the event that the dog gets out of the cage, they will attack you more because they remember. I always know for a fact because I have patients all the time. The memory of dogs are good, and they remember bad people. Okay, ones who tease them, and if they may not attack you now, they will remember it in the future because you tease them. They will bite you in the future because they have a good memory. Okay. Number five, do not pet an animal behind the fence or inside the car. A lot of people do this whenever they see a pet inside a car, a passing car. They touch it. They think that's cute because they think the animal is very, very docile. But you don't know what might happen because sticking something inside a territory, again, the attitude of the dog, they think you're an intruder to their territory. They will defend it. Okay, so sticking something in your hand inside the car or in a fence intrudes their territory. They will defend it with a bite. Okay, number six, do not approach a dog that is off leash. Okay, this always happens, especially in the malls. Okay, so just remember not to touch any dog that is not, you think, is not really uh, docile. I mean, if it's off leash, there is a reason why it's not on a leash. So it may cause so many problems. You know, rabies has been rampant all around, and you don't know, especially strange dogs, stray dogs, especially they don't have rabies vaccines. They are not protected, and you should be very, very careful with this. Okay, remember that stray dogs are not vaccinated, so be careful with that. Okay, most off-leash dogs are strays. So, and one of the most important things whenever you're approached by a strange animal or a dog, never run and scream. Again, in my first slides, I mentioned that loud voices and loud sounds irritates dogs and gives them a different effect and reaction that might be an aggressive type of reaction, and they will always bite whenever they are irritated and agitated by fast moving objects and loud sounds like screams. Okay, number eight, in the event that you get knocked down by a dog. I remember when I was a kid, I was chased by a group of dogs. Okay, and what I did was my natural reaction due to the scare and being afraid of being chased by five dogs, I tried to sit down. Okay, the dogs were surprised when I sat down. They stopped. Okay, they stopped chasing me because they will also defend themselves and they think I might attack, so they sat down. Okay, in the event that you get knocked down by a dog, remember,
Hello. Hi, Doc Jomar. I'm sorry to cut you, pero I think you accidentally pressed your mute button. You were sharing
Okay.
a story about you, dun sa curling up na ball position nung bigla tayo na mute data, Doc. So, do you
Okay.
mind
Okay.
going back to that part again?
Okay. So, okay. Number eight, if you are
Yeah.
knocked down in the event you get knocked down by a dog, you can protect the vital organs of your body by curling up in a ball. Okay. What are the parts of the bodies that you should protect? Your face, your head, okay, your chest, your tummy, your private parts. Okay. In case the dog really is an aggressive one, you should protect yourself by curling up in a ball position. Okay, this is very important because a lot of people don't know this. You will, uh, survival is essential here. So curling up in a ball is very, very important. Okay. Thank you for that. I hope you have learned a lot from the tips that I gave, so that you can protect yourselves, your family, and everyone should know this because a lot of people don't know that.
Mhm.
And thank you for that, John.
Doc, earlier si Bea, before we started the program, she asked me if I had, rabies when I was young or close to having one. I recall, and I saw kasi some of the parts that you mentioned about yung sa don'ts na part, ano. Remember
Mm.
when we were kids na mahilig tayong magbike around the subdivision and there will
Yes.
be like dogs in that some part of the, I don't know, for some reason, parang may tropa-tropa ng mga aso dyan na nakaabang lang. I remember
Yeah.
what my mom would always tell me, even my dad, na pag nakita mo sila mga naandyan, halimbawa you're biking, turn
Mhm.
around, wag mo na ipilit na tumawid ka pa doon, otherwise, bad things might happen. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think I agree, totally agree with number six, as well as yung number seven. If in case you're not naman, you're just walking around with your friends, and then you see a group of dogs, don't
Mhm.
run. That's a number one rule, di ba? Do not ever run because the tendency is when you run, lalo na kung sasabayan mo pa ng pagsigaw,
Yeah.
hahabuli ka nila. Tama ba, Doc?
Yes, that's their cue to chase you.
So yeah, so safety first, don't run, turn around, just walk, 'di ba? Don't mind
Mhm.
them pag kumakahol-kahol sila. I don't correct me if I'm wrong, Doc. So kung kumakahol, just ignore them, just keep
Yes.
walking slowly,
Mhm.
ganyan, and then the next thing you know, you're malayo na sa kanila, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And then the curling up, that's
Mhm.
the first time I heard that. So that's a good advice, 'di ba? So in case lang na it happens, worst case scenario, that's the safest way to do it. The story that you shared a while ago, Doc, wala naman nangyaring, hindi ka naman nila kinagat or anything.
When
What
I
happened?
when I ran, then they chased me. Then I stopped and sat down, like in a curl ball position. Uh, they seem to be on the defensive side because they think I will attack also.
Mhm.
So they were surprised. So they had to stop. Then slowly, I walked away and they didn't
Oh.
follow already. So there's this tendency among dogs to really also defend themselves. So that's very effective. That's very effective. Sitting down and uh, curling up in a ball position to also protect yourself because a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, so maybe in the minds of the dogs, na lumapit sa inyo, this is not a threat. So baka kaya,
Oh,
lumayo na rin sila sa inyo. And you also mentioned something
mhm.
about, yung mga canine and the malls. Yan. So
Yeah.
I
Uh,
when these things started, when you started seeing this cute canines in the malls, I remember nga
mhm.
one time yung I don't know what you call those people handling yung mga canine na yan, ano.
Mm.
They would really tell you not to pet the dogs.
Yes.
As you mentioned, maybe the dogs are taking it seriously. At times when they're
Yes.
working, you really don't have to pet them.
Yeah. Actually, these dogs are really trained to focus on something. And if you irritate them and agitate them, that focus will turn into aggressiveness, and they think because they work minsan around the clock,
Mm-hmm.
and they're tired also. So poking them and irritating them really bothers them. So their tendency is also to bite.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids and a lot of people don't know that. So they should know not to bother these working animals when they're at work.
Also, yung mga petting ng, you see a cute puppy, you see a cute dog walking around the park, example, sa mga places where pets are allowed, and then tendency is, when you see something cute, lalapitan mo talaga siya, and you say, ipepet mo siya, but as you mentioned earlier, then one of the do's that, yung mga viewers nating must do is dapat humingi muna ng permission from the owner.
Yeah. Oo, totoo yan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, because you
For
never
your
know, di ba?
protection.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yun.
Yeah. Okay. So, Doc, maraming maraming salamat. Now, we have been receiving a lot of questions already sa ating comment section. Now, isa-isahin natin yung mga questions na yan. But for those questions we won't be able to accommodate or choose, Doc, how can we get in touch with you?
Yes, actually, I'm in Facebook and in a lot of the social media platforms. But most importantly, I'm at Facebook. Just type in "Consult a Vet." I have 4 clinics,
Mm.
3 in Quezon City, and the newest one in Imos, Cavite. So you can communicate with us. Just type in "Consult a Vet," Animal Hospital, and just message us if you need anything, any question, and we'll give you free online consultation anytime.
Those are the magic words. Free consultation. Maraming maraming salamat, Doc Drummer. I have one more question. I don't know if you've noticed sobrang init this past days, ano? Meron bang effect, Doc, etong weather sa rabies or maybe dogs getting irate and the tendency to bite people?
Well, one thing I'm very sure of, if it's really in a hot and humid place, you're in a hot and humid community, okay, because temperatures reaches to around 42 degrees na nga,
Yeah.
daily
Mhm.
this summer. It's a conducive for viral growth. So if you would ask, what's that, Doc? Rabies virus thrives in hot and humid areas. So if there is an infected dog that's really on the loose and he would infect a lot of other dogs, the rabies would thrive and grow more rapidly because of the
Mhm.
humid weather. So
Okay.
for us, I think like here in Quezon City, which is I think the
Yeah.
highest rate of rabies infections,
Mhm.
syempre, we should always remember na have our dogs vaccinated. That's the only way to prevent it. And thank you dun sa Rabicin. It's been a tested vaccine to really protect dogs, especially during the high end months where rabies infections are high in the summer.
Mhm.
So, yun. Mhm.
Ayan. Again, maraming maraming salamat, Doc
Mhm.
Jomar, for that very insightful presentation. And I hope our PVET for parents learned as much as I did. At syempre, maraming maraming salamat din sa Rabisin. Yes, Doc Jomar. Now, again, as I mentioned, marami tayong nare-receive ng mga questions. So before we move on to our Q&A segment, we will be having a short break, and I would like, of course, to remind all of you to stay until the end of the show. Pwede pa po kayong humabol. Yung mga gusto pa rin magtanong kay Doc Jomar, ayan, i-type nyo na po dyan sa ating comment section ng inyong mga questions. And please do not forget to use our official hashtags. That's hashtag PVETLive and hashtag PVETDogBites. Ayan, sige. So please, again, continue typing in or keying in your mga questions. And later on, ayan, sa Q&A natin, we will be choosing some questions. Okay? So again, I would like to remind all of you to stay until the end of the show for the announcement of our contest winners. And a very special announcement. Nako, every time na may live tayo, meron tayong mga very special announcements from PVET team. So ano na naman kaya itong announcement natin mamaya? So abangan nyo yan. So don't forget to like, share, and comment your questions. Again, with our official hashtags, hashtag PVETLive and hashtag PVETDogBite. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in a bit.
Unfortunately, danger for your pet is in the most hidden and unknown places. Dogs are the main source of human rabies in countries where the disease continues to wreak havoc. Preventive immunisation is one of the key measures to protect your dog, but also to save human lives. You can't control everything, but your veterinarian can with vaccinations. We all know just how dangerous the rabies virus can be for dogs and humans. But sometimes we forget that cats face the same deadly risk and can be seriously affected by it too. To protect them against this severe disease, the best protection is vaccination. Remember to vaccinate our feline friends against rabies to protect the whole family.
Okay, there you go. And we are back. Welcome sa ating PVET Live Dog Bite Prevention, the do's and don'ts. Now, before we start, of course, we would like to acknowledge our partner brands. Andyan ang The Filipino Vet. The Filipino Vet is the go-to portal for veterinary product information, veterinary services, and pet and animal care information. Visit their website at www.thefilipinovet.com. Now, are you searching for a doctor to treat your medical condition? Kagaya halimbawa ng nakagat ka ng aso, nagkaroon ka ng rabies? You can go to thefilipinodoctor.com or download the TFD app to reach out to thousands of doctors from all over the Philippines with different specialties. You can also visit their website at www.thefilipinodoctor.com or download the TFD app in Google Play for Android and App Store for iOS. And of course, our co-presenter nandyan ang Rabies, a product of Boehringer Ingelheim. May lumapit sa akin kaninang cute na puppy. Etong puppy na to may binulong sa akin. Yung puppy Jack Russell. Kasi yun yung gusto ko. Sabi niya, meron daw siyang kakilalang doc or doctor or veterinarian na nagsa-celebrate ng birthday niya today. Nako, shout out po daw kay Doc Duday from Boehringer Ingelheim. Happy birthday po, Doc Duday. Gusto niyo bang kantahan ko kayo? No need. Okay, again, happy birthday to our friend Doc. Ayan, doctor, si Doc Duday from Boehringer Ingelheim. Happy birthday! Next, okay, ito na. Our PVET team has a very exciting news for all of us. Tonight, everyone who registered will be receiving a new dog bite prevention ebook. Now, this will be sent to your email. So sa mga hindi pa nakakapag-register, huwag po kayo mag-alala. Don't lose hope dahil pwedeng-pwede pa din po kayong humabol. Just scan the QR code you see now on your screens. Yan, nakikita nyo dito sa screen ninyo ngayon. Yan, scan nyo na po yan. Scan, scan. And then, or click nyo na lang yung link na inilagay na namin po dyan sa may comment section. Now, here's a quick glimpse of the new dog bite prevention ebook. Let's all watch this. Ayan, again, ito na. So ito na ang moment we've all been waiting for, ang ating Q&A portion. Now, we've collected 10 questions that Doc Jomar will be answering. So, Doc Jomar, tawagin natin ulit si Doc Jomar. Hi, Doc!
Yes. Yes,
Ayan,
John.
ready na ba
Thank you.
tayo sa ating Q&A? Naku, ang daming nag-post ng kanilang mga questions sa ating comment section and we've only chosen 10. So as I've announced earlier, yung pong mga 10 na yan na napili natin are automatic winners ng prizes natin mula sa PVET. So are you ready, Doc?
Yes, ready.
Okay, so here we go. Our first question is coming from... Ayan, this is coming from Rayana Raceles. Question, pag po ba nakagat ng aso na alaga ko mismo at nasa loob ng bahay or nasa loob lang ng bahay, ay pwede pong hindi na magpaturok ng anti-rabies vaccine? Dr.
Yes.
Jomar?
Yes, hello Rihanna. Thank you for that wonderful question. Ano, napakaganda ng question ni Rihanna sa atin kasi nga, oo nga naman. Bakit ka magpapaturok? Alaga mo naman yung aso mo sa loob ng bahay, ano? Actually, it's your discretion. Kung sa tingin mo naman yung pinanggalingan ng aso mo safe and walang rabies incidents, okay lang na hindi magpaturok. Pero it's my advice and suggestion na mas maganda na rin na magpapaturok ka kasi for future cases dahil wala pang bakuna yung aso mo at kung makakalabas siya ng bahay at makakasalubong niya strange dog na stray dog na maaaring may rabies, mas mainam na magpaturok ka na rin para for future accidents and future bites, protected ka na. So, just on the safe side, mas maganda na protected ka na kung sakaling makakagat ka ng aso mo or aso ng iba, safe ka na.
It's good that you mentioned about, yung history also of yung pet nila because you never know, baka, there are
Mm-mm.
may tendency kasi na because yung puppy is so cute, bibili na natin without checking or kukunin na natin, ipapa-adapt sa atin without checking the background of yung puppy. It's
Mhm.
good advice, Doc Jomar. Maraming salamat for answering that first question. Let's proceed now with our second.
Mhm.
And this is coming from Princess Joy Dudas. Ang sabi naman ni Princess Joy, posible po ba na maging asymptomatic ang aso na infected na ng rabies? At pwede din po ba na hindi tablan ng anti-rabies vaccine ang isang alagang aso?
Okay, magandang question yan, Princess. Thank you for that. Yes, possible na maging asymptomatic din ang aso sa infected na rabies. You use the word asymptomatic, ano? Kasi syempre, sa COVID, sanay na tayo sa
Yeah.
word na yan, no? I want you to know na yung rabies virus sometimes becomes dormant in a host. So, example, meron na kayo sigurong naririnig ng mga balita noon na lumabas yung rabies sa isang aso ay sa isang tao na nakagat after 7 years. So, very relative na maaaring mangyari din yun sa aso na hindi pa nagiging dormant lang yung rabies virus dun sa aso, saka siya lalabas after a few years. Nakakatakot yun. Hindi natin masabi kung gaano karami at gaano katagal bago lumabas yung rabid form ng virus sa tao at sa aso. Kaya lagi na lamang ang sinasuggest ng ating gobyerno, ng Department of Health, at ng naming mga veterinaryo na kailangan magpabakuna yung aso at kung makakagat naman yung tao, magpapabakuna na rin yung tao para all bases covered tayo, safe tayong lahat. Hindi tayo nag-aagam-agam na baka infected ako or hindi. Yun.
It all boils down to making sure na
Mm.
napabakunahan lahat ng mga pets natin. So as you mentioned, all bases covered at hindi tayo nag-aagam-agam. Maraming salamat again, Doc, for answering
Mm.
that second question. Let's now proceed with our third question. Please flash
Mm.
it now. This is coming from Kiko Reyes. Question, paano po na pag nakagat ako ng aso ng gabi, or gabi na at wala nang bukas, nako, may magandang question na 'to, Doc. At wala nang, bukas na animal bite center sa amin. Puwede
Mm,
po ba pagpabukas ang pagpapa-vaccine and, paano po ang first aid para dito? This is a
yeah,
very, I would assume relevant na question ano,
yeah.
knowing some
Mm,
stories also from friends na naka-encountered the same thing na nakagat ng aso nila, nung pet dog nila. Late
mhm.
night na. So, Doc, puwede po bang ipagpabukas yun and ano po ba ang mga first aid?
Okay. I'll discuss first the first aid ano kasi kailangan malaman ng mga tao kung ano yung una nilang gagawin pag nakagat sila. You should
Mhm,
wash it off with soap and running water para malinisan at ma-disinfect agad yung bite wound ng aso. Now, when it comes to the bite itself, yes, alam ko marami ring talagang ah, centers, animal bite centers na sarado pagkagabi. Okay. Usually, 'pag nakagat ka sa binti, okey, at maliit lamang yung kagat sa'yo, okey, maaari ka pa ring magka-rabies virus, lalo na kung hindi mo alam kung saan nanggaling yung aso, okey? Ang ginagawa po namin talaga pagkatapos siyang linisin, okey, maaari mo namang ipagpabukas yon kung kinagat ka sa extremities lang, 'yan, puwede mo yung ipagpabukas kasi ang nagiging pathogenesis ng virus sa katawan 'pag kinagat ka, papasok siya sa balat, dadaan siya sa muscles, pupunta siya sa nerves, aakyat siya sa central nervous system which is yung
mhm.
spinal nerves mo, paakyat sa brain. Yun yung behavior ng virus. Okay. So 'pag umakyat siya sa brain, it will take time. Matagal. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, 'di ba merong dormant type na lumalabas yung virus, yung infected rabid form after so many years, may gano'n, okey. Kapag kinagat ka naman sa leeg o sa muka, dahil nga malapit na ito sa brain, hindi ka na dapat maghintay pa. Pumunta ka na kaagad sa pinakamalapit na ospital, 'wag mo nang hintayin na magbukas pa yung bite center kasi malapit na siya sa brain. Kapag kinagat ka siya sa leeg, mas madali
Bilis.
na yung travel time niya, masyado ng maikli para hintayin mo pa na ipagpabukas. Yun ang suggestion ng mga doktor para mabakunahan ka. Ano ba ang ginagawa ng bakuna? The vaccine will limit and stop the traveling virus from reaching the brain. Yun ang ginagawa niya. Okay?
Doc, after hugasan thoroughly, is it okay to apply mga alcohol?
Actually kasi ang alcohol napaka-irritating yan, eh. Actually yung mga antiseptic ointments, yung mga, wound ointments, yun lang puwede na, eh. Pero siyempre it will not stop the virus from spreading in case the bite is infected. So
Mhm,
siyempre yung vaccine na, sa hospital na or sa animal bite center na yung gagawa nun. Pero it will also when you wash it off, maaaring mahugasan na yun, eh.
mhm.
So tinutulungan mo na yung spread ng virus while washing it off and medicating it at home. Yun.
Okay. Maraming salamat, Doc Jomar, again for answering that. Third question, let's now proceed with our fourth. Let's
Mm.
please flash it now on screen. And this is coming from Snowflake Bonzi. Bonzi. Okay. The question is there any truth behind the myth na basta daw takot sa tubig or takot maligo yung dog, ay may
Mhm.
rabies na po ito? Doc? Para sa
Yes.
tao lang din, ano?
Napakaganda ng question ni Snowflake. Thank you for that kasi talagang maraming Pilipino ang naniniwala sa ganitong mga myth, 'di ba, about the rabies virus. Okay. If yung aso mo ay hindi mo talaga pinapaliguan at hindi sanay sa tubig, talagang matatakot siya sa tubig kahit may rabies siya o
O
wala.
wala.
Okay, yes. So, isa lang naman po sa mga clinical signs ng rabies in dogs yung hydrophobia. isa lang yon pero it's not the top clinical signs.
Mhm.
Lumalabas lang po yun kasi takot sa tubig. Pero kung hindi mo talaga pinapaliguan yung aso mo dahil tamad ka ring paliguan siya, sigurado ko takot siya sa tubig. So mahirap ma-determine if may rabies siya o ayaw niya lang maligo. 'Di ba? Yan.
Okay. Tama naman si Doc do'n, 'di ba? So baka naman kasi hindi mo siya pinaliliguan or regularly pinapaliguan. Speaking of pagpapaligo, Doc,
Mhm.
medyo off topic.
Okay.
How often ba dapat pinapaliguan ng mga pet dogs natin? Is it like supposedly every day, every week, once a month? How
Yes,
often?
I have received that question so many times, no? Thank you for that, John. Kasi dog should not, ito sasabihin ko sa iyo, should not be given a bath every day. Why? Because certain shampoos and chemicals, when given on the fur and skin of dogs, tends to dry it up.
Hmm.
Okay? So when it dries up, they tend to acquire allergies. Nagda-dry up, nagfe-flake na, nagsusugat na, nangangati na kasi the natural oils of the skin and fur of the dog is nawawala. It gets removed by washing it off on a daily basis. So the natural oils will never grow naturally on the first surface of the skin of the dog kapag lagi mong pinapaliguan. So I suggest give it a chance to really to grow yung natural oils niya. So ako minsan kasi mahirap sabihin doon sa mga clients kasi gusto nila katabi nila matulog, gusto nila araw-araw
Mm, mhm.
mabango, no? At least man lang every other day para magkaroon ng chance yung natural oils at yung natural growth ng hair hindi nahihinder by giving them a bath on a daily basis. Yan.
Alright. So, I hope nakatulong din 'yan sa mga gustong magtanong ng question na 'yan kay Doc Jomar. Maraming salamat for answering that question. I believe yung next question natin also is also coming from the same person. So, the same, sender, si Snowflake, ang question niya po is it true that the summer season increases the risk of animals having rabies? Oh, medyo related sa question ko rin
Oh,
kanina, 'no? Sabi
mm.
kasi nila na 'pag mainit daw po ang panahon, mas malala daw ang rabies sa hayop. Doc?
Yes, so also mentioned this earlier kanina, no? Siyempre, kahit anong virus naman, they thrive and grow on hot, humid temperatures. So, siyempre, kapag ka merong rabies virus, like any other virus, kapag summer, siyempre, pag merong mga infected dogs na merong may rabies virus, mas elevated yung growth and yung proliferation ng virus kapag infected yung dog, nangagat siya, mas maraming na nai-infect. So mas matindi yung chance ng growth ng virus inside the human body and dun sa host kapag ka mainit yung panahon compared to a cold temperature na namamatay yung virus. So yes, there's a truth to that thinking na kapagka mainit, mas maraming tinatamaan ng rabies. Yes, pwede po 'yun. Kaya lang siyempre, kaya nga dapat tayo during summer, mataas talaga yung rabies infection, 'di ba? Sa mga probinsya, that's the time na yung project ng government like ng Boehringer, they give this free rabies vaccines to during the summer kasi dun madalas maraming nagkaka-rabies. Tama yun.
All right. Maraming salamat again, Dr. Amar, for answering that question. Let's proceed with our next question. And this is coming from Jane Cleopas. Hello po. Ask ko lang po if may rabies yung aso kahit hindi naman po sila na-expose sa ibang dog or sa labas ng bahay. Parang medyo
Mhm.
related doon sa unang earlier question natin, Doc.
Yes, so yes, marami namang saan nga naman siya nakukuha. It's true na they can only be infected through a bite of a strange animal, a non-vaccinated animal. Doon nila makukuha yon. Okay? Kaya lang, I understand there are also studies in
Doc, nakamute. Doc, you're on mute. Doc, nakamute po. Nakamute, Doc. Ayan.
It
Okay,
happened
there
abroad.
you go.
Yes, okay. It happened kasi abroad na merong na-infect na animal without getting bitten kasi uminom siya sa isang
Mm. Ayan, si Doc, medyo Doc nakamute ulit.
ayan, okay.
Okay.
Where yes, where kasi it happened in abroad na na-infect yung isang animal kasi parang kumain siya or uminom siya sa isang bowl or container where a rabid animal also is using. So, na-infect siya because of the saliva.
Mhm.
So, so
Mhm.
siyempre tayo, nag-iingat tayo, mas maganda kung nasa loob lang talaga ng bahay. Pero kung merong stray animal na lumapit diyan sa aso mo, okay, sa gate,
Mm.
kinagat siya ng rabid animal na stray dog, eh walang protection yung dog mo, eh di magkaka-rabies na rin siya. So, it's not just for you, it's also for the protection of your dog. Kaya ka nagva-vaccinate. Yan. Okay? So,
Okay.
make sure they should all be vaccinated kasi you don't know what will happen. You might not see it now, pero kapag wala ka, hindi mo alam kung sino yung kalaro ng aso mo. Baka makalabas siya, 'di ba? So 'yun ang protection na binibigay mo all the time.
So again, it all boils down to the number one rule: make sure that your pets are all vaccinated. Ayan. Okay, let's proceed now with
Mhm.
our next question. Ayan, sir. Next question natin, this is coming from Lyra Ku. Rabies daw po ba inborn? Doc, naka-mute lang po.
Yan.
Ayan.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Dogs do not acquire rabies at birth. That's not true. Kasi most of the time, di ba, nakikita natin may nakakagat ng puppies, tapos nagkaka-rabies. They do not acquire that. Okay? At birth. Hindi po yun totoo. Okay? They acquire it after when they are born.
Doc, mute ulit.
Sorry ayan,
It's
sorry.
okay.
Nag-auto ano eh.
Oo nga.
Yan. So, wala pong gano'n. Hindi po totoo 'yun. At birth, lagi po 'yun na-a-acquire. Maaring nakukuha nila 'yon kasi walang vaccine yung mother nila, tapos na-infect yung
Ayan.
ipapasa po nung nanay yung virus sa mga puppies. Kaya
Mhm.
kaya 'pag lumalaki na sila, nangagat sila, marami nang nai-infect.
Okay. Doc, maraming salamat. Okay, you're on mute lang again, Doc. Okay, next question, please. Ayan. Can we please flash the next question? Okay. And this is coming from Summer Gray. Sabi ni Summer Gray, can play biting or play scratching be a transmitter of rabies? Doc.
Yes. Uh, rabies a bite, rabies virus is always transmitted through a bite or an open wound coming from the saliva of an infected dog. So, whenever whenever a dog whenever humans have wounds, saliva and the virus may enter that break in the skin. So, yung play bite, deterrent na yun. Ibig sabihin po nun, normal na talagang nagpe-play bite yung aso. Eh pag nasugat pa yung
Mm.
nilalaro niya at hindi natin alam kung may rabies nga ba yung puppy, dun po papasok yung saliva niya sa break in the wound.
Mhm.
So, dun na siya magta-travel hanggang sa maging full-blown rabies na siya. It's a very, very delicate subject kasi dahil maraming pwedeng mangyari kahit na nasa loob lang ng bahay mo, play bite lang, masugat ka at pumasok dun yung saliva at yung virus, infected ka na. Kaya
Mm.
kailangan mo mag-ingat in all aspects. Kasi pag hindi, life is at stake. Ito yung ano dito eh. Yung tinitingnan natin, buhay po ang kapalit kapag ka nag-relax ka. So kailangan be careful, vaccinate.
Vaccinate talaga. Okay, maraming salamat, Doc Drummer. We still have more questions. Can we please flash the next question? And this is coming from Reggie Nano. And her question is, Doc, how often po should we vaccinate dogs for anti-rabies and heartworm preventives?
Okay. Dun muna tayo sa rabies, no?
Mhm.
Sa rabies kasi, yung rabies vaccine is always given annually. Okay? Do not believe anybody else. It manufacturer's recommendation po ito, kahit ng Boehringer and Rabicin, it's always their recommendation that they vaccinate once a year. Annually lang po, hindi
Mhm.
we vaccinate twice a year for places
Doc, you're on mute.
yung yung high incidence areas, like for example, may mga areas sa probinsya na talagang napakataas ng rabies incidence, dun kami nagdadagdag ng twice a year for protection, additional protection. Super vaccination ang tawag dun eh. Pero kapag ano, for clinics here in Manila and in the country, once a year is enough.
Ayan. Doc, pa-unmute lang po ulit.
With with heartworm prevention naman, depende sa gagamitin nyo. There are oral heartworm preventatives and there are injectable preventatives. Yung injectable preventatives, usually yung ProHeart once a year, pero yung oral heartworm prevention, usually it's given once a month or depending on the manufacturer and the brand. So
Mhm.
if you have questions with that, you can just call me or message me at Consult a Vet. I can happily answer that question so that can give you options on what is suitable for your pet.
Okay, sir. Doc, we have few more questions, ano, and hindi na natin ipa-flash yung question, but I'll be just reading it na lang. So this next question is coming from Marina Fuentes. So ang question po niya is, what should I do if my dog with updated anti-rabies vaccine gets bitten by a stray dog? Any first aid that you can suggest?
I sorry, I didn't quite hear. Medyo na mute kaya yata dyan.
Okay,
So
let me repeat lang sir yung question ano. So
yeah.
ang question ni Marina is, what should I do daw po if my dog with updated anti-rabies vaccine gets bitten daw by a stray dog? Ano daw po yung magiging first aid na pwede ninyo may suggest?
Yes, okay. First wash off the wound where your dog got bitten and you have to bring it to a vet. O kasi
Mhm.
i-mediate yun and we will try to vaccinate again to really stop the spread of the virus. Pero since vaccinated na yung dog mo, I'm pretty sure it's already protected. For safety lang and to really treat the wound of your dog to not really aggravate it, it's better for you to bring him to a vet para ma-treat siya thoroughly. Okay? Pero okay yun kasi nabakunahan mo na yung aso mo, protected siya. Hindi siya magkaka-rabies kasi meron na siyang protection.
Okay, thank you, Doc. Again, we are down with our last two questions. So our second to the last question is coming from July Kadaweng Didikan. Safe na po ba for sure ang aso namin na vaccinate for anti-rabies kahit nakagat na ng aso na suspected na may rabies or iba pang ibibigay na shot ulit? So I think medyo somehow related to dun sa early question natin kanina lang.
Yes, sorry John, na ano hindi ko lang narinig kasi na mute yata. So, please repeat the question.
Okay, again, sir, safe daw po ba for sure ang aso namin na-vaccinate ng anti-rabies kahit nakagat na daw siya ng aso na suspected na may anti-rabies? Or may iba pa po ba daw na dapat pang ibigay na shot? Doc? Ayan. Doc? You're on mute lang, Doc. Okay. Oh, okay, Doc. You're on. Hindi naman ikaw nakamute, but we can hear you for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yan. So, pag nakagat siya ng isang rabid tapos vaccinated naman yung
Doc, you're on mute again.
may antibodies na kasi yung dog na vaccinated to protect him if in case makagat siya ng ibang dog na may rabies. So, I think hindi siya kailangan mag-worry kung may bakuna naman yung aso. Okay? Most of the time naman kasi hindi mo mano-notice kung may rabies yung asong nakakagat. Bigla na lang siyang magkakaproblema. Pero most of the time, pag protected yung dog mo, kaya kailangan talaga on a yearly basis, kailangan may protection yung yung dog mo by vaccinating. Okay? Yun ang dapat mong gawin.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. We are now down with our last question for tonight, and this is coming from Asuncion Olivia. Okay lang po ba hindi ma-anti-rabies ang taong nakalmot or nakagat if observed well ang animal for a long time? Doc?
Okay. Yes, very nako, ito yung very important din talaga na kailangan malaman ninyo. Siyempre, katulad ng sabi ko kanina, we are siyempre safeguarding a life. Okay? And if oobserbahan lang, hindi natin masabi. Katulad ng kwento namin ni John kanina, merong dormant
Mhm.
na hindi lumalabas yung rabies. Lumabas after 7 years. Okay? So, it's a sensitive matter So, hindi naman po mahal at meron ng proyekto ang gobyerno para makatipid kayo sa ganitong klaseng gamot. So, wag nyo na pong palagpasin yung chance na magpabakuna kayo kasi again, for future incidents maiwasan ninyo at pangalawa, protection din natin 'yan sa buhay. Buhay po kasi ang nakasalalay na kapagka tinamaan ka ng rabies virus, 100% of the time, talagang yung mortality nito 100%. So, ganun po. Pagka infected ka na full-blown rabies, wala na pong gamot ang rabies pagka na-infect ka.
Oh, I didn't know that. So pag like me for example, halimbawa lang knock on wood, nagkaroon ng rabies, doc. So wala as in wala or meron ba
Yes,
mga certain medication talaga na pwedeng you know?
yes. Sad to say, no, talagang we're just preventing the virus from reaching
That's
the
right.
brain.
Okay.
Oo. If it reaches the brain, there's no turning back. That's the sad truth about
Oh.
it. That's the reason why hindi dapat alam nyo, I've been a talagang proponent of the rabies in the government. I did commercials and I did strong proponent talaga ako ng rabies, anti-rabies. Talagang hindi po na tayo pwedeng magpatumpik-tumpik kapag
Mhm.
kinagat ka ng aso. Magpagamot ka na para sigurado hindi po natin mapipigil na mawala ang buhay kapagka umabot na po yan sa brain. Wala na pong turning back with that. Yun. So paalala ko lang po siyempre sa lahat po ng ating for parents na vaccinate. Vaccinate your dogs and if you get bitten ng pre-exposure or post-exposure vaccination sa rabies bite centers to preserve your life and to save your pet. Yan.
Okay, Doc Jomar, maraming salamat for sharing your mga knowledge about, rabies. And siguro, sir, before we let you go, ayan, okay, tignan natin, sir, kasi on the chat box, meron pa yata gustong humabol na ano, no? Again, maraming salamat. You mentioned about making sure, being a responsible fur parent.
Mhm.
Ano ba dapat, sir, ang dapat natin gawin? So, dapat, number one, we vaccinate yung ating mga pets. Maraming
Yeah.
maraming salamat, of course, kay Rabicin. Yan.
Mhm.
Ano pa, sir? Any final message para sa ating mga fur parents?
You have to share this information to everybody na siyempre to really be a responsible pet owner, not just vaccinating, siyempre taking care of your pets, feeding them, giving them good nutrition, grooming them, giving them a good home so that they won't be strays. Okay? Without strays, hindi rin po kakalat yung rabies besides vaccinating. So if everybody is responsible enough to really take care of the pet, hindi ko mo lang siya alagaan dahil cute siya, dahil puppy pa lang siya, hanggang sa paglaki niya at
Paglaki.
pagtanda niya, kasama mo, companion natin sila. At pag hindi sila walang strays, wala ding rabies. So
Mhm.
thank you for that, John. And I hope I've shared this information to everybody for us to be aware na we should take care of ourselves and our pets.
Doc Jomar, last before you go, ayan, may mga viewers tayo from far locations. And you mentioned earlier na they can get in touch with you via Facebook Messenger. Pwede ba natin i-announce lang ulit yan?
Yes, please do communicate with me. I have a Facebook group called Consult a Vet. Okay, just join the group. It's around 250,000 members already and growing. And sana I could talk to you. I also have a Consult a Vet Animal Hospital Facebook page wherein you can ask more questions, complicated cases. I want to help everybody, all for parents, to be responsible pet owners. Okay, and let's enjoy our pets. So thank you very much, John, and to PVET Life.
Maraming salamat, Doc Jomar. Nako, ang dami nating natutunan from, of course, your presentation and, of course, ang ating Q&A. And, of course, congratulations then to all those who submitted the winning questions. Nako, ito na. Our final segment sa ating audience. Ready na ba kayong malaman kung sino ang nanalo sa ating Keep Calm or Panic Contest? Now, before we announce, here's a quick recap of the contest mechanics. Okay, so ito na. We will be announcing now the winners sa ating promo we did. So can we please flash the names of our winners? Ayan. Ating first winner is Maria Alia Marie. Congratulations. Ayan. Next winner natin si Riri Reggie Nano. Congratulations. At next winner natin si June Adlawan. Congratulations and thank you so much for joining. Our next winner is Shiara Biglete Katigbak. Ayan, congratulations din sa'yo, Shiara. Next winner is Colleen Isabel Tan. Ayan, congratulations. And thank you again for joining our promo. Next winner, ayan, so there. Congratulations po to all of our winners, to all of those who won our contest and Q&A questions. Ang ating pong mga PVET team, ayan, representatives from the PVET team will directly message you to get your delivery details. Again, to all those who participated, maraming salamat po. And congratulations. Nako, I hope you all enjoyed and learned a lot from our speaker and ang ating live ngayong event. Kung kayo po ay nag-enjoy at maraming natutunan, pakita nga ng mga thumbs up dyan sa ating comment section. Thumbs up naman kayo dyan. And of course, we would like to thank our sponsor, Rabicin, a product of Boehringer Ingelheim. Maraming salamat, Rabicin. And continue your good deeds. Of course, yung sinabi kanina ni Doc kanina, no, na every year meron daw silang ginagawang mga anti-rabies na vaccination twice a year. Okay. Now, on behalf of the PVET team, again, thank you everyone for attending. Now, this event will be available online for those who weren't able to watch this, which you may again share with all those who missed the event. If you haven't followed the PVET's official social media pages, like and follow at PVET Animal Care on Instagram and Facebook to get updates on their latest and upcoming activities. A good night to all of you. This is John Santos. Magkita-kita po tayo ulit sa ating susunod na event. Thank you and see you again next time. Bye!